this is Sonia from Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Today our memory verse release day, and today or this month we are going to memorize a very special passage in the Bible. The most well-known passage probably besides maybe John 3:16 is Psalm 23. So maybe many of you have memorized Psalm 23. So don't be put off by it. It's maybe good to go over it again. Maybe you want to dig into the meditation sheet together. But I specifically decided to do that to give people the opportunity to who's never memorized any scripture before. I mean, I was a Christian for many years, and I knew my Bible fairly well, but I've never actually even memorized Psalm 23, maybe the first two verses. And then a year or so ago, I actually sort of my own time, I just went over it and I memorized it. And it's a beautiful sort of just to have that in your toolbox, memorizing it. Last year we did Psalm 1, which is still one of my favorite months we memorize scripture. So I want to recreate that effect, Psalm 23. So this is maybe the time to jump on board. So if you know of somebody who would like to start memorizing scripture and doesn't know where to be, if you are mentoring somebody, if you've got a daughter, if you've got a sister, a mother, maybe bring them alongside. Let them download the free printable to do your memory verse box, which you can download, and you can make yourself a little memory box. This is all free. If you don't want to pick up the printables, no problem. Just use some journaling cards like that, write the verse on, cut it to size and put it behind your memory verse box. This is just all tools to make memorizing scripture fun, different, and maybe creating a habit of memorizing scripture. So without further ado, this is obviously what we're going to do. Week 1, we're going to memorize, I think, about 3 verses, because it worked out like that, and I knew most people probably know already the verse 1 or 2. So it's just like adding a little bit to it. Then week 2, we are memorizing verse 4. 3, we're memorizing verse 5. And week 4, we're memorizing verse 6. So yeah, obviously I love the color scheme, sort of more earthy. I'm thinking of myself in the olden days, it wasn't things like pink and red so much. Everything had to be dyed with natural things. So this is why the muted tones is going. I love it. These little scrolls, and 1 2 3 4. If you want to write down things that stood out for you, you can use the numbers and these little scrolls. And then I've got this just collection of shepherds. Obviously we look at the shepherd as Jesus. I like the fact that he doesn't have a face, carrying his lambs, these little lambs and sheep. Then I looked at elements. Your stuff on your right protect me. My cup overflows. You oil my head with oil. You anoint my head with oil, rather. These little olive branches. So yeah, just elements that will help you document your memory verse. Then I've got another page with these tags, these little vintage rustic tags with some sentiments, some tabbies, cute little lambs lying down. And then I've got this just journaling cards. For journaling, I like to have them just to use in my sort of, when I'm in my Bible or in my book, where I memorize my 4 things or 3 things that stood out for me from the meditation sheet. So I've got these shepherd scenes, walking down the road, down the valley and the water streams. You can use it as tags. And then obviously last but not least, our meditation sheet, which we dig into every week, digging deeper. I've got a video for each meditation, or for each verse is a video which we fill in the meditation sheet. Okay, I've cut out all my elements which I want to use in my introductory page. I do more or less every month the same. I put my title, obviously, the memory verses we do, Psalm 23, and the month. And then I spread these memory verse cards on the page. I usually print 2 pages out, so I can have one to put in my box and one to put in my book. This is just for fun. It's just to be creative, to use the elements that is in the digital to create an overview page. Yeah, just to see what the vibe of the printables is this month. As I said, this is for fun. This is where you can be creative. So what I've done is I've stuck all my things down with glue. And now I'm going to go to the other side, or before I do that, I'm just going to use some washi tape I had in my stash. I usually go for my stash and see what elements I can use to add to the printables each month: stamps, washi tape, pattern paper. Sometimes I design pattern papers to go with it. So I find these pattern papers in my stash, and I like the hay one that just reminded me of sheep and things like that. So I've decided to use this green pattern paper to put at the back. I just torn it up or tear it up, and then I put these doilies on top of each other. The brown doily is this which I had at my stash, and the light green doily is I've got a whole bundle of doilies with different colors, which you can find in my Etsy and in my Kofi account shop if you're interested in that. And then I decided to use that hay to put at the bottom of these lamb's feet. Just, I don't like it. I like them to be grounded on something. And then I created the same element there at the top, and I decided to use some of the tabs just to put up there at the top. And then I decided to use some of the stamps in my stash. I also almost had these olive bronze type of stamp, and I'm just checking to see if the spine needles work well with this printable. I probably could have had a different or better one, but this is what I had in my stash. And then I also have brass corduroy, which is one of my favorite colors. It just goes with everything, and I'm just spreading it over the page, and I'm just putting that in there so my pages doesn't stick together, because sometimes there's residence of glue. Then I've got my practice seeds in there, and now I'm going to put my meditation seed just to get ready for this month. We've got a rest week this month coming, or this week coming, so you have plenty of time to get ready for the month. And lastly, what I'm going to do is just cut out these cards and put it at the back of my memory decks card, so I can be ready for next week, the 15th of July we're starting. If you want to come along with us on this journey, start memorizing scripture or inviting a friend, I've got all the details down below. The free memory verse bundle, this memory verse kit that you can pick up if you want to join us, or you can just write it down on your own card. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great week. I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July celebration in America, for my friends in America. And for the rest of us, yeah, just have a great weekend. Bye-bye.